A very good evening. Jayalalitha Jairam, fondly remembered as Amma, was finally laid to rest in Chennai. Her last rites were performed at the Marina Beach after she made her final journey from Rajaji Hall to the beach, accompanied by a sea of humanity. The around 2 kilometers journey took almost 2 hours as the route was shod with flower petals and Jayab's party MLAs led the funeral procession. Well, we'll get you all the details on Jayalalitha's final journey in the next half an hour in News Tonight and more news from India and across the world. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the latest headlines. Jayalalitha laid to rest with the full state honours at the MGR Memorial in Marina Beach. President and Prime Minister joined thousands in paying floral tributes to the late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister in Chennai. Tamil Nadu capital Chennai comes to a complete halt as millions line up to pay their last respects to Jayalalitha. Central government declares one-day mourning. Both houses of parliament adjourned till 11 a.m. on Wednesday as mark of respect to Jayalalitha, a Rajya Sabha member in 1984 to 1989. The four-time Tamil Nadu Chief Minister was the first woman opposition leader in the assembly. And paying tributes, Rajya Sabha Chairman Mohammad Hamid Ansari says country lost a prominent leader and an able administrator. Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan describes Jayalalitha as a true leader of the masses and a multifaceted personality. Well, the mortal remains of late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha were laid to rest in Chennai today. Jayalalitha was buried at the MGR Memorial, built in the memory of her political mentor M.G. Ramachandran. Now draped in the national tricolour, Jayalalitha's body was taken in a carriage to the Marina Beach, around 2 kilometers from the Rajaji Hall, where thousands of people paid their last respects. The Madras Regiment of the Indian Army offered a gun salute with 5 rounds of fire from a 12-member team to pay tribute to the departed leader. The Indian flag was flown at half-mast as the Navy band played at the burial site. Well, Tamil Nadu capital Chennai came to a standstill with millions of people trying to catch a glimpse of Amma. Perched on rooftops, balconies, treetops, or the roads leading to the Marina Beach, people from all walks of life struggled to get a final glimpse of their beloved Amma. Now, lakhs also walked the whole stretch to catch a glimpse of the popular leader and pay their respects. Now, State Chief Minister O. Selvam and Jayalalitha's close aide Sasikala were part of a select few who boarded the gun carriage carrying her mortal remains. Now, Jayalalitha, popularly known as Amma among her followers, breathed her last at Chennai's Apollo Hospitals at 11:30 p.m. on Monday. Remember, she suffered a massive cardiac arrest on Sunday evening, from which she could not recover. Following her death, the party members chose O. Selvam, who took oath as the new Chief Minister of the state. Well, before Jayalalitha was finally laid to rest at Marina Beach, tributes were paid to the former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister at Rajaji Hall, while President Pranab Mukherjee also flew to Chennai to pay his last respects to Jayalalitha. Mukherjee placed a wreath near the casket containing Jaya's body at Rajaji Hall. Now, Mukherjee was accompanied by Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra Governor Vidyasagar Rao. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also paid his tributes to the leader who he shared a good personal equation with. An inconsolable Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Selvam was seen hugging the Prime Minister. Well, the Prime Minister also consoled Jayalalitha's close confidant Sasikala, who stood by her mortal remains. Well, a host of leaders, ministers and prominent personalities mourned the death of late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Pranab Mukherjee and Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari paid their last respects to her. They hailed her for being a leader of the masses, a revolutionary leader whose demise has left a vacuum that cannot be filled.
Leaders across the political spectrum on Tuesday paid glowing tributes to the late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha. President Pranab Mukherjee and Prime Minister Narendra Modi were among those who condoled her death, while describing her as a most charismatic and popular leader in Indian politics.
All other battles she won, but perhaps everybody is to lose one battle, and she has lost that. I pay my respectful homage to her.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that he will always cherish his meetings with the late Tamil Nadu leader. Lauding the leadership qualities of Jayalalitha, Congress President Sonia Gandhi said she had a unique and deep empathy with the needs and hope of people. In her condolence message, Sonia said Jayalalitha lived her entire life with the same indomitable courage with which she battled her last illness. M.K. Stalin, treasurer of the rival party DMK, tweeted that Jayalalitha was a courageous leader. Political leaders cutting across party lines also paid their tribute to the Iron Lady.
She was a very popular leader, efficient administrator, and at a very relatively young age, her going away is actually a big loss for Indian politics.
She was the leader of the masses of Tamil Nadu. She has fought throughout her life different types of battles, but ultimately she has won.
देश के हर बड़े उलझन जो सवाल होते थे, जयललिता जी के राय का बहुत महत्व दिया जाता था। हमसे उनका व्यक्तिगत बहुत संबंध अच्छा था। उनके मरने से देश को बहुत नुकसान पहुंचा है।
शोक संतप्त तमिलनाडु परिवार जो आज ऐसी आयरन लेडी, ऐसी ग्रिपिंग लेडी, ऐसी हिप्नोटिक लेडी, ऐसी मैग्नेटिक लेडी, ऐसी द हीरोइन, भारत की महान नायिका आज जयललिता जी हमारे बीच नहीं रही हैं, जो मुख्यतः हमारे परिवार से ही आई, फिल्मों से आई, इसलिए मुझे और भी इस दुख का एहसास हो रहा है।
Expressing grief at the demise, BJP veteran L.K. Advani said Jayalalitha was a dominant political personality from Tamil Nadu. Delhi's Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung said Jayalalitha was an extraordinary politician with exceptional administrative skills. Meanwhile, leaders from various countries including Sri Lanka, Malaysia and Singapore also condoled Jayalalitha's demise. Tributes also poured in from the sporting world after her death. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Rajya Sabha observed silence and was then adjourned in the memory of late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha. She, you remember, also represented the state of Tamil Nadu in the upper house from April 1984 to January 1989.
As the House assembled for the day, Chairman Muhammad Hamid Ansari made an obituary reference for the late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha. The House also hailed her contribution to the world of cinema and politics.
In the passing away of Ms. Jayalalitha, the country has lost a prominent leader, a distinguished parliamentarian, and an able administrator. We deeply mourn the passing away of Ms. Jayalalitha. I request members to rise in their places and observe silence as a mark of respect to the memory of the departed.
The House also observed silence as a mark of respect to the memory of the departed. With inputs from Vishal Dhaya, Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's hear what Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman P.J. Kurian had to say about the departed leader.
We have with us Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha Professor P.J. Kurian. Kurian sir, how you remember Jayalalitha?
First, I want to tell you that the news of the sad demise of Chief Minister Jayalalitha was heard with a great grief and shock. Her contribution to the economic development of Tamil Nadu is unparalleled. Her contribution to the development of the poor people and women will be written in golden colors in the history. She lives in the heart of the entire women folk and the poor people.
She came from very modest background and then successful career in films, and then after a very strong and powerful, you can say, iron lady in Tamil Nadu politics. This is something you find very exceptional?
Yes, certainly, I am telling you. Especially when she came from the film world. So that's why I mentioned about her maiden speech. People at that time thought, since she came from the film world, her speech will be some flattery, some flowery language only, and then it may not have that much of contents, or it may not be. But when they heard the speech, they understood she is a different person. You see, a person of substance, and she could attract so much affection and love from the people, transcending the state boundaries and language boundaries. She is loved by millions and millions. It's a great thing.
That was Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha PJ Kurian, who said that it's not only great loss to Tamil Nadu, but to the entire nation and entire political scenario. With cameraman Sudipta, this is Panchanan Mishra for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, union ministers and MPs from across the political spectrum paid tributes to the late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. Let's listen into some of the reactions.
Her contribution to the economic development of Tamil Nadu is unparalleled. Her contribution to the development of the poor people and women will be written in golden colors in the history. She lives in the heart of the entire women folk and the poor people of not only Tamil Nadu but outside Tamil Nadu. She was a very able administrator.
उन्होंने राजनीति में भी और फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में भी एक नाम बनाया. बड़ी कल्चर्ड वुमेन थी और अपने डिसीजन के लिए, अपने फैसले के लिए, अपनी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए बहुत मशहूर थी.
Amma, as she was popularly and fondly called, actually Jayalalitha ji created a brand, Amma politics, a new brand of politics, but center of which was always poor people. And therefore, she was a fighter till the end.
एक प्रतिभाशाली और गरीबों की मसीहा जो थी, ऐसी नेता का अवसान हुआ है. ये देश के लिए एक अपूर्णीय क्षति है.
She's a very versatile woman and worked very hard for women upliftment. Impacts are more in Tamil Nadu, but a very versatile person, like a cinema actor to political to everything.
She is an iron lady. Whatever she feels correct, she will always, in spite of all opposition, stand by the decision.
She is a born fighter, extremely talented administrator, and someone who captured the imagination of millions and millions of people.
People of Tamil Nadu, the Tamil-speaking people all over the world, loved her, respected her, and I should say worshipped her.
She made a mark wherever she was. In the film industry, she had a place of her own. And in the political career, she proved that even a woman, if she has a strong will and if she is clear in mind, they can win.
जयललिता जी का निधन खास करके भारत की राजनीति के लिए एक बड़ा शून्य है और मैं पार्टी की तरफ से उन्हें श्रद्धांजलि देता हूं.
Great and huge national loss, which is irreparable. And as an actor turned politician, because I would first say that I am first an actor, then a politician, so I salute her.
Well, the Lok Sabha too condoled the death of the former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. The lower house was also adjourned for the day after members stood in silence for a minute in her memory.
The Lok Sabha was on Tuesday adjourned for the day after paying tributes to late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha, who passed away late on Monday. As soon as the House assembled for the day, Speaker Sumitra Mahajan informed the House about her death. She also read out a statement on her political career, recalling her services to Tamil Nadu and the nation.
In her demise, the country has lost a highly popular, courageous and eminent political leader. The House may now stand in silence for a short while as the mark of respect for the departed soul.
The Speaker also remembered her as a popular and eminent leader. Members stood in silence as a mark of respect to the AIADMK leader.
Om Shanti.
The House was then adjourned for the day. With Ravindra Singh and Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the film industry also mourned Jayalalitha's demise. Actors from both the Hindi and Tamil film industries took to Twitter to express their grief. Well, a Tamil superstar Rajnikant described Jayalalitha as a brave daughter, saying that it's a huge loss not just for Tamil Nadu but the entire country. Rajnikant, with his entire family, also went to the Rajaji Hall in Chennai to pay his last respects to Jayalalitha. Meanwhile, Bollywood actor Amitabh Bachchan called her a strong woman, saying that she was the only chief minister who celebrated 100 years of cinema. Well, actor Shah Rukh Khan and a number of Tamil actors like Shruti Hassan, Gautami, Trishula Krishnan and Dhanush also paid tributes to the departed leader. Bollywood's yesteryear actor Dharmendra, who acted opposite Jayalalitha in her only Hindi film Izzat, also remembered his co-star. Let's take a listen.
मुझे बहुत गहरा सदमा पहुंचा है। वो मेरी को-स्टार थी, फिल्म इज्जत में मेरे साथ थी और करीब 1.5 महीना हम लोग वहाँ रहे कुल्लू मनाली में। तो हर लम्हा एक खूबसूरत लम्हा था। वो यादें गुजरने के बाद एक फिल्म की तरह आंखों के सामने घूम गई मेरे। मैं कभी मद्रास जाता था शूटिंग के बाद भी, तो कभी बात भी होती थी, मिल भी लेता था, मगर एक अरसे से मैं मिला नहीं था क्योंकि वो इतनी व्यस्त हो गई थी कि अब पॉलिटिक्स में मैंने भी उनको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना चाहा। हम सब मिलके अब दुआ करते हैं कि उनकी आत्मा को सुकून मिले, शांति मिले।
In news tonight, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news on the other side. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to State of the Economy.
The faith in the banking system is going to be severely dented. Increase in NPA, very high probabilities of fairly large, substantial amounts in a situation where the NPA problem is already serious. We are going to move to a credit-driven, bank-intermediated economy, which rests critically on the health and the reputation of the bank.
Watch Pranab Sen articulate on demonetization in State of the Economy on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. On to some other news now. Well, Chief Justice T.S. Thakur today made a recommendation to the government to appoint Justice J.S. Kehar as his successor. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad had written to the CJI in November to name his successor, to which Justice Thakur responded today. Now, once approved, Justice Kehar will be sworn in as the Chief Justice of India by President Pranab Mukherjee on 4th of January next year. Now, he will be the 44th Chief Justice of India and will remain in office from that date till 4th of August 2017. Also, he will be the first Sikh to become the Chief Justice of India. And President Pranab Mukherjee led the nation in paying tributes to Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar on his 60th death anniversary today. In a special event held at the Parliament complex, President Mukherjee, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Speaker of Lok Sabha Sumitra Mahajan, among others, paid floral tributes to the chief architect of the Indian Constitution. The Prime Minister Modi said that India will always be thankful to Baba Saheb for his rich service to the nation. Well, the day is also observed as a Mahaparinirvan Din by thousands of his followers. In Mumbai, lakhs of people from all over the country assembled in a Chaitya Bhumi to pay their respects. Now, this is the area where Dr. Ambedkar's remains were interred. Well, on the day, the Bahujan Samaj Party also led a program in Lucknow at the Ambedkar Memorial, where Chief Mayawati addressed the party workers. She hit out at the BJP, Congress and the Samajwadi Party while claiming that it was only her party that gave Dalits their due.
जब उत्तर प्रदेश में बीएसपी के हाथ में सत्ता आई तो जो कार्य पूर्व की सरकारों ने आप लोगों को अपने पैरों पर खड़े करने के लिए नहीं किए थे, आपको सुरक्षित रखने के लिए नहीं किए थे, आपको मान और सम्मान की जिंदगी व्यतीत करने के लिए नहीं किए थे, तो वो कार्य बीएसपी की सरकार ने अपनी चारों हुकूमतों के दौरान करके दिखाया है।
And the two-day meeting of the RBI's Monetary Policy Committee began in Mumbai for the fifth bi-monthly monetary policy statement for 2016-17. In a first meeting after demonetization, the six-member committee headed by RBI Governor Urjit Patel began deliberations among widespread expectations of at least a 25 basis point cut in the policy rate to cushion the impact of demonetization. Well, following the MPC's first meeting in October, remember the RBI cut the repo by 25 basis points and it currently stands at 6.25%. Well, the RBI has reduced the policy rate by 1.75% since January 2015. Meanwhile, the Sensex failed to hold on to its early momentum and ended flat in a cautious trade ahead of the RBI's announcement scheduled on Wednesday. The rupee on Monday settled almost flat with a negative bias at 68.21 against the US currency. And for more news from across the nation, let's go nationwide. In another setback to the ruling Shiromani Akali Dal, four leaders including two sitting MLAs joined the Congress on Tuesday, extending support to Captain Amarinder Singh in the forthcoming assembly elections. Now, expressing their disillusionment and anger with the Akali leadership, the sitting MLAs Rajinder Kaur Bhagike and Mahesh Inder Singh said that they had always been loyal to the party but could not allow themselves to be slaves to the ruling regime. A CRPF jawan was killed and another injured after Naxals triggered an IED blast in Chhattisgarh's Dantewada district. The incident took place when a joint team of CRPF and district force was patrolling to ensure security to an under-construction road. Reinforcement was rushed to the spot and the injured personnel were airlifted to Raipur for treatment. In a new update to the rule regarding toll plazas, payments through credit or debit cards and e-wallet will be accepted at all tolls in national highways. Old currency notes of 500 rupees are already to be accepted till 15th of December. The Home Ministry has also asked the states to deploy adequate police so that no potential law and order problem arises across the toll plazas. All right, let's get you the top international story now. Russia and China have vetoed a United Nations Security Council resolution calling for a ceasefire in the Syrian city of Aleppo. Well, the United States and Russia verbally duelled before and after the vote, which called for a 7-day truce in Aleppo and an end to a fighting throughout Syria. Well, the veto underscores divisions among foreign powers over Syria that have complicated international efforts to end the 5-year-old war. A UNSC resolution calling for ceasefire in the Syrian city of Aleppo failed to be adopted after Russia and China vetoed it. The draft resolution was submitted jointly by Egypt, New Zealand and Spain and called for ceasefire to allow desperately needed aid into the war-ravaged zone. Russia said it was not given enough time to analyze the document, drawing flag from the US. UK and China also sparred over the draft deal.
Как мы знаем, такие передышки каждый раз использовались боевиками для пополнения запасов и восстановления сил. Неужели сохранение их контроля над несколькими кварталами города стоит страданий тысяч людей?
Russia says that they were on the cusp of reaching a deal with the United States to allow for some resolution of the situation in eastern Aleppo, and that this resolution undermines the negotiation. That is a made-up alibi.
The vote came as the Syrian government, helped by Russian forces, is tightening its siege on eastern Aleppo. Food stocks, clean water supplies and medicine have run dry in the area.
Let me tell you what Russia and China have vetoed today in blocking this resolution and allowing the bombardment of eastern Aleppo to continue. They have vetoed the delivery of basic medicine to people who will die without it. They have vetoed the lives of innocent Syrians. This action is a death sentence for innocent men, women, and children.
The 15-member Security Council has faced widespread criticism over its failure to find a political solution to the 5.5 years of Syrian war, which has left an estimated 4 lakh dead. Aleppo was once Syria's largest city and its commercial and industrial hub before the uprising against President Assad began in 2011. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And for more international news, let's take a look at the global buzz. French Interior Minister Bernard Cazeneuve was appointed the new Prime Minister on Tuesday after Manuel Valls resigned to seek the Socialist nomination in the presidential election. Now, Cazeneuve will take control of the Socialist government until legislative elections in June, replacing Valls, who had been Prime Minister for the past 2.5 years. The South Korean military today claimed that its cyber command is set up to guard against hacking has been breached by North Korea. Well, highly classified information is believed to have been stolen, although it is not clear exactly what data was accessed. Now, following the detection, the network has been isolated. North Korea has been accused of hacking into banks and media outlets earlier as well, but a cyber attack on the South's military had never happened. Now, Pyongyang has rejected allegations of any cybercrime involvement. An official of the International Organization for Migration claimed on Tuesday that around 21,000 Rohingyas have fled to Bangladesh in recent weeks to escape violence in a neighboring Myanmar. While the vast majority of those who arrived took refuge in makeshift settlements, official refugee camps and villages. Bangladesh, on the other hand, has stepped up patrols on the border to try to stop the tide of refugees fleeing a bloody crackdown by Myanmar's army in the western state of Rakhine since early October. Time now for all the sporting action in Sports Beat. Indian wicketkeeper batsman Parthiv Patel will play the 4th test against England starting in Mumbai as Ridhiman Saha is still recovering from an injury. While Patel impressed with scores of 42 and 67 in the 2 innings at Mohali on his comeback into the side after 8 years. Roger Federer pulled out of the International Premier Tennis League because of uncertainties surrounding the event. The 17 times Grand Slam champion has not played since a Wimbledon semi-final defeat by Milos Raonic in late July. The world number 2 Serena Williams is also withdrawn from the IPTL. Meanwhile, Denmark's Thomas John has been named as the captain Europe at the 2018 Ryder Cup. The 45-year-old will be the only 4th man from outside the British Isles to lead the team. John, who has been vice-captain 4 times, was chosen ahead of 1999 Open champion Paul Lawrie. That's all in this edition of News Tonight, but news and updates continue on Rajya Sabha TV. Thanks for watching. Good night.